Yeah. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. And after strong beats, no, I'm just kidding. Um, so it's been a long time. It's been a long time. So the reason why for such the large gap, let's be honest, life gets in the way. Me and Big Chief Daddy, Big Boy, and Roma, you know, the chameleon as I call him. All of us got, life going on and busy, and I was just like, you know what? It's time we start talking NFL. The games are starting about to start. All right, little bit of college football. If you guys know about the hugest upset I think I've heard of, it even sounds funny. Colorado beat TCU. I don't know about y'all, but to me that sounds funny. And but you know what? If you guys have been living under that giant rock, it's like in the corner of your house that shouldn't be there. Deion Sanders now coaches Colorado, and 80% of his team is transfer portal. Now, I'm one of the people who agree with the transfer portal, and I love with the fact what they've been able to do with it. I watched maybe half a quarter of that game, and it's funny. I kept watching the shows all day today, as I'm sure some of you guys have. I don't remember seeing any penalties whatsoever. That's the thing that shocked me, I think, the most. Hold on, let me put on my AC. I think that is the thing that shocked me the most. I don't remember seeing any penalties. Teams don't just aren't just like that good that quickly on the chemistry front. But then again, it is Dion. He knows what he's doing. My goodness. So congratulations to Deion Sanders and his son who balled out though for 500 yards. Jeez. Anyway, I'm here to talk about the NFL, right? So let me really just start talking about this Thursday's game and what I'm looking for. If you haven't heard yet, update Kelsey possibly may not play. So that's going to be interesting. But I'm thinking like the Detroit I just saw last year, the team that they ended up being, as opposed to the team that they started off being, which happens a lot in the NFL if you guys don't know. There's always that team we see in the first 4 or 5 weeks. They're one team. And then the last 9, 10 weeks, yeah, there's usually a gap in between 9, 10 weeks is a completely different team. Like they just click and it's all on. So bringing that up, the Detroit Lions, right? We saw who they were at the end of last year. I don't know what they'll be this year, but if they're riding last year's momentum, eesh, honestly, I do gotta look. I'm thinking the game is in Kansas City. I'm hoping for the Kansas City Chiefs' sake that the game's in Kansas City. Phone's not working. Oh, So if the game is in Detroit, which I honestly don't know at this point, I'm just talking football because I haven't talked, I haven't been on camera a while. So I'm just kind of hoping to just kind of flow a little bit, you know? So the game between Detroit and Kansas City this weekend, if they're in Detroit, the game's going to be competitive. If the game is in Kansas City, Detroit is going to be in trouble. Yes, I know Detroit has more talent than they used to, all that, right? All the free agent signings on the defensive line, and if I'm not mistaken, they signed one offensive lineman. They got another wide receiver, plus a rookie wide receiver from last year that's going to be 100% going into this year. I believe he's healthy. The wide receiver from Bama, I'm forgetting his name right now. And then they let go of the running back. We got another running back. So Detroit is going to be nice. They're in a team. They're in a division with Chicago, who is a big question mark. Green Bay, at this point, Love is a huge question mark. And in Minnesota, Kirk Cousins is always going to be a question mark because if the games are not prime time, the pressure's not there, he's probably one of the best pocket quarterbacks in the league, if not the best. If I don't know, what about you guys? Who do you guys have winning the NFC North? Me personally, I know this may sound funny, but I can't get away. I'm sorry, Minnesota, dude. You guys gave up your running back. You guys have a quarterback you don't know if you're going to sign at the end of the year. You have one of the best wide receivers in the league who now is going to be focused, and you guys don't have a running game to take the pressure off of him. So he's going to be double teamed more than ever, which is going to cut down a little bit of his production. Sorry. I love Jefferson. I've had him in fantasy the last 2 years. He's the guy. But if you don't have an Adam Thielen or if you don't have a Cooks in the backfield, there's no threat. You're the only person that they're going to look at. And that's what's going to suck about Minnesota this year. They're going to be an easily targeted football team. I think Kirk Cousins is going to get sacked more than this year. It's all going to be interesting, right? The Detroit Lions, we just spoke about them. What's going on? They traded a running back, got a running back, got another wide receiver, signed defensive players, have a better offensive line they did last year. I would add one more person. And Jared Goff is one more year in the system. I think he's one of the 16 teams where he didn't lose his offensive coordinator. If I'm not mistaken, there's a whole lot of changes on the coaches. And I'm one of those people, if you change coaches and offensive coordinator and or both, you're in trouble. Or you're definitely taking a step back. For an example, everyone's like, oh, Allen's going to Super Bowl. Allen's going to Bills going to Super Bowl. First of all, last year, they couldn't run the ball. So that's one. They couldn't run the ball. They didn't have a running back. Oh, wait. This year, the Bills don't have a running back. Still can't run the ball. Still can't go to Super Bowl. Sorry. You need balance. You can pass for 1,000 yards. If you can't close somebody out or hold the game in the late third, early to mid fourth quarter to basically say, I'm shutting you out for the rest of the game, you have no game plan. There's nothing you can do if your offense can't get on the field if you have a run game. You can't pass every down. Passes are going to get dropped. Passes are going to get incomplete. The clock is going to stop. You need the running game to run the clock in the mid to late third quarter and early to mid fourth quarter. And if you have a two-score lead, you have a lock. As long as you don't let the other team score and get the offside kick to get the ball back. People are like, oh, you don't need to run, you don't need to run. You still need to run the ball to win the Super Bowl. I don't care who you are. You don't have to run for 350 yards a game like you used to. But what you need to do, you need to learn how to run timely manner. You have to be able to run at the right time. Your offensive line has to be able to do this. This has to happen. Now, Andy Reid is a genius where he's, no matter what quarterback, Jeff Garcia, Michael Vick, Mahomes, Don McNabb, developed a short game, literally a short game, that acts as his running game. Like motion handoffs, which Kansas City will always do. They did it in Philly. They did it with Brian Westbrook. They will always do that. They will always find a way to keep you on your toes because they're going to do something different. That's just what Andy Reid does. Now, if you look at the Bill Belichick's of the world, a little bit more traditional. They're going to say, okay, we're going to line up 6 guys and we're going to punch it in A, B, or C. This has to happen. Now, for me, I just happen to be in love with the screen game, which is something Mike Holmgren used to do back in the day that just, to me, is beautiful. If you have athletes on your offensive line, you can get them out in space, and you got a running back who can catch and navigate in space, that can be your running game. But defensive players are smarter, and they know how to diagnose it, and they know when you're going to do it. So it's harder to have a screen game. I remember, I'll never forget, one of the best screen running backs of all time. Well, there's 2 of them. One was actually Kansas City Chiefs, named Priest Holmes. In Baltimore and Kansas City, Priest Holmes, you could throw the screen at him. He was one of the greatest. The best guy I ever seen do it was Ahman Green. I wish that Daniel Tomlinson would have been in an offense to see if he was that kind of guy. I know LaDainian could catch. He's, if I'm not mistaken, he's still the only running back to run for 1,000 yards and catch 100 passes in the same season. There's not too many running backs that can do that. It's one of my arguments. Is the reason why I don't like Terrell Davis. I just don't think he was that kind of guy. Could Terrell Davis catch? Yes. Do I think he could have done it consistent enough to be a Hall of Famer, which he got elected? No, I don't. So I say that to say this. Running the ball is so key. Finding a way to keep the clock going is key. In the NFL on TV, you'll hear them call this a long handoff, which is crap. A pass is a pass. But the passes that give you the most successful chance is the screen game. Kansas City, they now screen Kelce in multiple different ways. And it's one of the most beautiful things you see, especially when you see Kelce fake a block in the backfield. Next thing you see him go out with the guard and the tackle off to the left side on the opposite side of Mahomes. Next thing you know, Mahomes goes back and you're saying, what are you doing? Oh, wait, there's Kelce. Caught pass. He's heading upfield. And they seem to do this at least 2 or 3 times a game like nobody's paying attention. And then I remember when the Tennessee Titans were doing this like 4 or 5 years ago. In the fourth quarter, every single game, King Henry got one screen pass. One screen pass. And if I'm not mistaken, he scored on 4 of them, like from longer than 40 or 50 yards out. And it was like, why doesn't Tennessee do this just a little bit more? I understand you don't want to be, I'm forgetting the word, you don't want to be the team that everybody kind of figured you out, but you also don't want to be the team that doesn't do something enough when something's great. Yeah. Anyway, so that division, you have to run the ball. The only team I honestly really trust is Green Bay. Their offensive line is still stacked. We know Love is not Rodgers, even though some of us may love or not love Rodgers. I'm not a fan of Rodgers. Yes, he's talented, he's gifted, but the way you are with your teammates matters. I will never be a fan of Big Ben. Again, I will never be a fan of Aaron Rodgers. I will never be a fan of Tom Brady for multiple reasons, even though Tom Brady was great to his teammates, apparently. But when Tom Brady was against you, it was on TV and it was obvious. Um, uh, I can't believe I've been talking 17 minutes. I'm still stuck on this one division. I don't think Green Bay's defense got any worse. I think them running the ball is actually going to help their defense because they're going to stay off the field longer. The only thing is, can Kevin Love, can Jordan Love convert on third downs? I have no problem what I seen from that guy from last year on first and second down. It's third down. Is he going to underthrow passes? I don't know. As my good friend Cut says, pressure bust pipes. And unfortunately, that is true. I don't know if Jordan Love is ready. I mean, technically, he should be. He sat, what, 3 years? He's in a contract year. Honestly, I think Green Bay might be hoping for him to fail. Only because when you got so many quarterbacks that are coming out, you can almost guarantee to say win or lose, Green Bay is going to draft a quarterback, whether Kevin Love is great or not. And getting somebody late in the rounds for Green Bay is probably going to be better than getting somebody early in the rounds. I'm not against Green Bay yet. I like Detroit. I think we all root for Detroit because we've seen that team down for so long. And all of us who watched football loved Barry Sanders for so long. And we feel bad for him that he got stuck with Detroit. And then we all like Matthew Stafford, and we all feel bad for Matthew Stafford for getting stuck with Detroit. That we root for Detroit because of people who got stuck there. A Hall of Famer, a Megatron, he got stuck there. We feel bad for these people. So I think that's the reason why we all kind of like secretly root for Detroit. Not that any of us would honestly be a fan of Detroit. Sorry for those of you that are Detroit Lion fans. I watch Green Bay and I just have a feeling he's that guy. He's going to throw 25 touchdowns and get like 13 to 15 interceptions. He's going to be better than Daniel Jones. I honestly think so. I don't believe in Daniel Jones. I don't. I honestly think as much as I like that coach, it's hard for me to sit there and say that Riverboat Ron is going to be last in the division in the East. It's hard for me to say that. It's easy for me to say, yeah, Daniel Jones is going to mess up, get injured, and then they're going to be last. Or Saquon's going to get hurt. They're not going to have anybody else to throw to. Uh, the tight end that they got from Vegas, he's going to get hurt too. Oh, yeah, he's been hurt a lot. I don't know what's up with the Giants and trading for signing players that get hurt. Kenny Holiday, I think he was hurt the whole time he was there. Again, I do not believe in teams that have new offensive coordinators with new offensive coordinators and then starting off someone and having to catch back up. Philadelphia is in this issue right now. So Dallas' defense is better. Their running game is better. Their O-line is not, but Philly's D-line hasn't changed. It might have even gotten better. But I'm sorry, Hurts with a new coordinator, them thinking that he can do A, B, and C, and he's only proven that he can do A. I like Hurts. But I said the same thing after Lamar Jackson won an MVP after running over every team in the NFL. That does not prove that he can play quarterback yet. It took me 3 years after that to say, oh my gosh, he can finally throw a post route. Oh my goodness, look, his out routes are getting better. I don't see that from Hurts yet. I've only seen 1 year of progression from Hurts. And from the first year to the second year, he had a new office coordinator and a new coach. Second year with the coordinator. Coordinator got a job. Now he's with a different team. So now, again, he's got a new offense coordinator. Yes, I understand that he's smart and that he's a workout warrior. And I understand that he studies a lot more than Kyler Murray. Is that shade? Yeah, that's shade. I mean, I could keep running. I could keep running the snakes in these divisions. I mean, we got a new quarterback change in Atlanta. Uh, we got a new quarterback change in New Orleans, who has one of his old coaches, but offensive coordinator. Derek Carr is again one of those smart people. Smart people tend to transition a lot faster than not smart people. Oh, and let's mind you, even when Tom Brady went to another team, it took him half a season to catch along. But then again, he was older. I'm not a fan of a guy who goes on TV and said that he needed help from his competitor to become great. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the hustle. But if you're going to be considered the greatest of all time, you should figure it out. Oh crap! Sorry about that. Let me see if my phone is working. When duty calls. Yo, what's good? Okay. All right. All right, man. Just get to work safe, and I'll see you when you get there. All right. Go. Sorry about that. So, oh wait, my phone's working now. I can figure out and see if Detroit is playing at Kansas City. Kansas City and Detroit on Thursday. Watch Detroit Lions versus the Kansas City. They're at Kansas City. Ah! Yes. Nope. Not happening. First game of the season is in Arrowhead. I don't care if none of the wide receivers show up. I don't know if you guys know, but that is the loudest stadium in NFL history. They're not losing that game. And I love how Andy Reid got on TV and said, "Yeah, we know about Jared. We know how good he is. We played him a few years ago on Monday Night Football when he was with the Rams. He played great." Anybody remember that was in St. Louis? That was not in Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken. The most points in history in a game? Yeah. Yeah. So, again, the Atlanta Falcons have, like I said, I can connect every division and all the NFLs and storylines. If I had to pick in that NFC North, my heart still says Green Bay, but my mind says Detroit. What do I say? Why does my heart? Because my heart, I'm a defensive guy. I see things on defense before they happen. And anybody who watches football knows I can call out the play, even though I haven't played football in over a decade. I can still see it. I can still see guys hitting the gap that they shouldn't have hit, that they were supposed to hold up the guy. I can tell when a guy didn't dip his hips low enough compared against players playing against. I can tell when a guy has his hand down where it should have been down as opposed to where he put his hand down. Yeah, football is my football is my thing. That's my thing. I love football. It's the greatest sport in history. For those of you baseball nuts out there, if I'm just picking this one division, again, with my heart says Green Bay, my head says Detroit. So let's be obvious. The Vikings, I do not think are winning a division this year. I just have this weird feeling the wrong guy is going to get injured and somebody's going to get figured out. I have a feeling this is going to be the lack of run game, lack of balance. Kirk Cousins is not built to throw the ball 40 times a game. Sorry. He needs that balance. Well, unless there's a running back in Minnesota that I don't know about. Adrian Peterson came out of retirement. I don't see it. Now, Chicago. I think sorry, I'm going on this one. I think the way they call it is boomer bust. Either the Detroit Lions are, I'm sorry, either the Chicago Bears are going to be the surprise of the NFL, or they're just going to be the Chicago Bears. They're going to be a 500 football team. The defense is going to be better than we all thought, and the offense is going to be all right. And they're going to be ball control because it's really hard to throw the ball in Chicago. I am just getting to work. So I am signing off. So my division winner, if I had to pick between the two, I'm gonna go with the best defense in the division. I'm gonna go with Green Bay. And they'll win exactly 10 games. to win exactly 10 games. I think it's going to be an up and down season for all four teams. I think Minnesota starts off hot, and then people figure out that they're not balanced at all, and then they kind of get figured out. Oh, okay. Well, if you're about to hop on, Big Chief, go ahead and hop on. I'll stay on for a few more minutes. I got 10 minutes before I clock in, so go ahead, hop on. But this also means I got to get out the couch. So, Daniel, I don't know who your pick is for the NFC North. It's a really hard decision to choose from. Obviously, Chicago has improved. Hold on, let me oh wait, who just entered? Look at him, look at the man, he's sitting right there. All right, Daniel, when you're ready, come on in, brother.
Yeah.
The vehicles are clean over here. We don't have the keys.
Give me a minute. I was with her last night. I know we left early, but I'll give her a call.
Yeah. Okay.
6 keys?
Yeah, it's like
That's a lot.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It can't be one driver that like 6 drivers ain't walking away with the key.
No, and there's not that many drivers that take the cars out.
Right. So that's why I'm trying to figure out. But and it's like the vehicles that are there, they're clean.
And they haven't been moved.
So just ask.
Yeah.
You could just give me a call later on. I haven't sent the email to alert anybody yet. I mean, well, Jeremy does know and Thomas knows because at first I was like, I thought maintenance had them. So, but what I'm saying is, if you find them, just let me know.
Okay.
That's all.
That's funny. He got all the calls. I come on, I come on forever. He come on, I come on and show. He gets calls, phone calls, people talking to him outside. I guess if I can do this. I was trying to see if I could get him out the call. He didn't. But I guess we'll wait. I'm excited about the football season. Chiefs, baby. Chiefs from repeat. First team to repeat. Wild open. Chris Jones ain't there. We'll see what happens. Of course, our heat. But he's back. Let's get him back.
You have Big Chief.
Hey, what's up?
I got stuck on, due to the Chiefs game, I got stuck on talking about Detroit and these and it's NFC North. And I'm having not a conundrum, but I'm more just stuck in the process of thinking who I would pick for the division for the year. And through a half an hour of just kind of talking to myself, I kind of came up with I kind of like Green Bay at 10 wins to beat out
Wait a minute.
Detroit.
You got Green Bay winning 10 wins with Jordan Love?
So what are you thinking?
No.
No?
No.
So you're not feeling Jordan Love at all?
No. I'm not feeling that whole entire
Look,
Green Bay roster.
I'm not feeling Jordan Love either, but I'm feeling that defense.
It's going to be Minnesota, then Detroit, and then maybe even Chicago. I'll take Fields over Love. Fields over Love. You hear me? Fields over Love. I'll take Green Bay. Then
Hold on one more time. How you doing, Kevin?
But yeah, I'm gonna take Minnesota's gonna win the division, and then I'm gonna take Detroit finishing second, and then I'm gonna take Justin Fields finishing third, and I'm gonna take the Green Bay Packers for finishing last in the league.
Yeah.
I don't believe in Jordan Love. They lost a lot. They lost Lazard. They lost Old Man Cobb. I mean, and they lost Aaron Rodgers, possibly the greatest quarterback.
Okay.
Not named Mahomes and Brady.
Okay. One of the reasons why I'm kind of far apart from Detroit is only because even though they've made the defensive additions, I'm not sure how they're going to mesh in the first 8 games. And if they lose tonight, they're in Kansas City. You already know, the loudest stadium in NFL history, period. It's not even close. It's like, what, like 80 decimals above anybody else? Like, it's not even close. So I'm going to say that to say this. There is a lot, I think, of growing up that Jordan Love will do. I think he'll connect with the wide receivers more than Aaron Rodgers will. And I think they'll have a better relationship with Jordan Love, and that may have Jordan Love better playing than he's capable. Does that make any sense? Basically, I think the chemistry is going to be better than his talent.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see him as like a super great quarterback, or he hasn't shown anything. We saw one great game from him last year. One. We saw him underthrowing passes. We saw him confident. He was throwing outside the pocket. He was throwing from inside the pocket. But that was only one game last year. We've seen Matt Flynn do more in the NFL. But the only reason why I'm stuck on Green Bay is the defense. That's it.
Well, Detroit was everybody's darling last year because of the Hard Knocks. So, I mean, everybody wanted to see Detroit, you know. So they got a lot, right? I don't know if they improved what they are, so they might have hit the ceiling of what they can be, because you just never know. I mean, they got your favorite buddy Goff as a quarterback still, right? And so you're like, oh, I can't do golf. I play golf. I'm not with golf. Or yada yada.
That's
yada.
right.
So if that's the case, I still like Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. As long as they got Jefferson there, they should be unstoppable. I know they lost Delvin. Cook, but I think they'll be okay as far as their offense goes and their defense. And I think that division is pretty much just like the other division, which is the NFC South.
Man, the South. All right, I know that AFC South was technically the worst division in NFL. It's completely flipped. It's by far the NFC South. When you can say that your best quarterback is Derek Carr by a mile, and two of the teams have technically a rookie. You got one guy who didn't play a lot last year in Riddle, and then you got another guy who is a Heisman Trophy rookie in Carolina, who I love, by the way. I can't wait until next year when those two hit, and then Carolina ends up being one of the best teams in NFC in 2 years. Oh yeah, 2 years calling it out. 2 years from now, I'm calling it out.
What?
Carolina's defense is primed in 2 years. Their offense is going to be primed in 2 years. I love it.
Okay. So listen, what in the world happened here? I have a ton of echo for some reason.
Yeah, I noticed it, but I just figured we just keep going. We've dealt with that before.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. So this is gonna be hilarious. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I have to look at this whole. I got a new board, and I have no idea why it's doing that. But because of my echo,
right?
We'll get together maybe this weekend, and we'll run down our division winners.
All right.
We'll do something.
I plan on jumping on again tomorrow on my way to work. I'm still
Yeah.
waiting for Dame Lillard to get traded to Miami. So as soon as that drops, I'm gonna be on.
Yeah, that's not happening. We'll get to some basketball later, but
Either way, I know our schedules have changed. I know our lives have changed a lot in the last off season.
yeah.
I gotta force it, man. I gotta get back on here. I think honestly, both of us need to get back to why we love sports so much.
Going on. Why this isn't like this. Anyways, I'm gonna get going. You go to work. I'll figure
Yep.
this audio stuff later.
I'm
Catch
getting
you
out of
later.
here too.
All right, peace out.
Peace. All right. That was In the Mic with Joey Two Wallets. I am at work and I'm gonna go clock in. And I'm gonna get started with my day. You guys have a blessed, beautiful, and wonderful day. See that W? That's that W, baby.